presentation. I'm going to demonstrate how you can share your data, which is present on Xanadu cluster, with anyone outside UConn using Globus. So first, let's search for Globus website. So we're going to say globus.org. And it's going to take to this particular website. In this particular case, I'm using an incognito window. Just primarily the reason behind that one is because my regular window has pre-filled fields. So I cannot show you where you have to give your password and username, because that will be automatically pre-filled. But you don't have to use incognito. You can use the regular browser for logging into the Globus website. So go over here and click on login. It's going to prompt you to log in on an account affiliated to a particular organization. In my case, I'm looking for University of Connecticut. So I selected that one and I simply say continue. It's going to take me to another authentication window, which is the institute specific authentication window. So this is University of Connecticut. So I will provide here my net ID and password. So that's what I'm doing here. I'm logging in over there. It's a two-factor authentication method. So I have to go on my phone and authenticate it. Okay, authenticated it. And I'll say, okay, yes, I trust this particular browser. Once you do that, is going to take you to this particular page on the Globus website. Now here what we want to search is Xanadu cluster Globus endpoint, and the best way to search for that one is search for a collection with the keyword UCHC, and hit return. So it's going to list out a couple of endpoints, some of those ones. The old endpoint was UConn Health HPC, so ignore that one. Select UConn UCHC Globus server, select that one, and it's going to take you to this particular page. In my case, it's directly taking me to my home directory. If you're trying to do this for the first time, it may prompt you for providing your a username and a password or some sort of a credentials. What it is looking for there is your CAM account and your CAM password. So that's what you're going to provide. So once you provide that, you will be you're logged into the endpoint. The endpoint is connected to the Xanadu cluster. So once that is successful, what you're going to see here is the contents of your home directory. So that's what I'm seeing, my home directory contents. There are multiple folders. So I can share any of the folders which are in my home directory. One of the, I think, sort of like prerequisites or easy way of sharing data is to put what are the files you want to share in a particular folder, and then enable the sharing of that particular folder. That's the easy one. So try to put all the files you want to share into a folder, and then basically search for that folder either in the home directory or wherever you have on the cluster, and enable the sharing. So this is the folders on the home directory that are being available for sharing. So what are the other locations that are out there on Xanadu cluster that we can share? So let's search for them. Just search using the root or slash and hit return. So it's going to show you two, Globus and home. So home we have already seen, that's our home directory is. So under Globus is some of the other directories that are available for sharing. So these are the set of directories. The cam_archive is the directory on Xanadu cluster. It would be /archive/. So that's our long-term archive directory. Core CBC is /core/CBC. Core labs is /core/labs, and core projects is /core/projects. Labs is the labs folder, which is /labs. You can have /projects. Shared is another one, which is /core/globus/cg. So these are some of the locations where you can stage your data for sharing with your collaborators. In my case, for this demonstration, I am looking for a particular directory that is located in my labs directory. So I'm going to go into the labs folder, and I have a directory here called sing. So I'm going to go down over here, search for the directory as sing. And there are multiple directories, so I can enable sharing of any directory. So here for the demonstration purposes, I'm using the logs directory. So I will select this particular directory. Once I've selected the directory I would like to enable for sharing, I can go on the right hand side, and you can see there are multiple options out there. the one, because since I want to share the data, I would just select the first option, which is share. Once you click on it, then it's going to take you to another page where it says add guest collection. Basically, it's trying to add the logs folder to the collections, which you can share with other users. So simply just say add guest collection. So that folder will be now what we're trying to do is to add that logs folder to the list of collections. So it's going to come down here. So you can see this is the logs folder listed here. That's what I'm trying to share. It's going to ask me to provide a display name. So here you can provide a name that is quite meaningful. So later on when you're trying to visit it, you can figure it out what that particular folder or collection means. So I'm simply going to provide here for demo purposes logs April 2023. You can provide any name, whatever you feel like, and just say create collections. So once you say create collections, it's going to take to another page, and in this particular page it's a permissions page. You look on over there, and here the link for sharing, as well as you can see there is an icon on the rightmost type, and this icon is to add a user who has a Globus account with whom I can share the data. So I click on that one, and here I would like to provide the email ID of the collaborator, and then in this case the collaborator need to have a Globus account created using the same email ID. So I'm going to provide Mia Nahum for demo purposes, and her is at UConn.edu. So it suggests me who is the user is. So select the appropriate one. Once you select the appropriate one, it's going to then suggest to you that they are going to send a email to the collaborator, and you can add a message here. In this case, I'm going to say demo Globus data sharing. Once I do that, I can either provide a reads permission or the write permission. So most likely, if you're just allowing them to download the data, just keep it as read, and then afterwards just say add permissions. So it's going, that particular individual will be provided the permission to read the data, which essentially means download the data. If you would like to add another person, you can say add another edit permissions, and you can do that. So in this case, I am done. So simply click done, and it takes me to now back to the same page. Now here you can say that Mia Nahum, so my collaborator's name is listed out here, and she have now the read permission for this particular folder. And at the same time, Globus has sent an email to Mia telling her that I have enabled sharing of a particular folder, and using that link, she can now go to the Globus website, the same website, and can download the data. So this is pretty much it regarding how you can enable sharing of data on Xanadu cluster using Globus.